Hello everyone, welcome back. Welcome back to me. I'm married now. So exciting. Man, we had such a fun trip. I think we've been back for just about a week. And yeah, it was great. I'm excited to talk more about all the things in the context of how my Achilles is doing. If you're brand new to my channel and this is the first video you've watched of mine, I'm Alexa. I normally make videos here talking about my life as a product designer, careers in tech, living remotely in San Diego, but over the last 5.5 months, I've been making videos also about going through the recovery process post-surgery of tearing my Achilles playing basketball in the basketball league I was playing at here in San Diego. So with that, let's jump into it. Basically, I mean, the wedding was so great, so perfect. We had perfect weather, which it was an outdoor wedding in the summer in Wisconsin. If you know anything about the Midwest of the United States, it's that the weather can be very volatile. I was most worried that it was gonna be really, really hot and people would be like sweating the whole time, just sitting. And then the other side was like, we were worried it was gonna be raining. Neither of those happened, so we super lucked out there. It was just like overall such a great day. And at the point where we got married, I was just about exactly 5 months post-op. And my leg, especially over the last month, had gotten really strong. I'd been really working with my PT on strengthening my calf and my Achilles, like my foot, my muscles, that help that all work. You know, I think that really showed for it. I would say for the most part, my injury played no part in changing the wedding day at all. Like, I had no problem walking down the aisle. I had no problem dancing and having fun with my friends and family and walking around and all the things. And our wedding was outside, which was like, you know, on uneven terrain, so to speak. But yeah, no issues at all. I will say I did decide, and I think I mentioned this in my pre-wedding video, I decided not to wear heels for the wedding. And that was because I wasn't like sure exactly where I was gonna be at the point where we were gonna have our wedding and didn't really wanna risk it. And I still think comfortability, like wearing heels, probably just like would have aggravated, like I probably would have noticed it that, you know, during the night if I wore heels. It would have been a thing. And also at the time that I needed to do alterations for my dress, I wasn't at the point where I was like comfortable wearing heels. So decided not to wear them. I wore sandals, and I can try to get a shot of what they looked like so you can see, you know, kind of just like what kind of shoe I was wearing during the ceremony and also like the beginning of the day. And then after the ceremony, during dinner, I switched into Converse, which I'd always kind of wanted to do at my wedding. I like love my white Converse, and I just thought it'd be really fun to buy like a fresh white pair and change into them during the dinner and dancing part of the event. That was my shoe situation. The next morning, my leg definitely felt it. It was like, I had clearly worked it out, and so it was sore, I will say that. You know, sometimes if I go for like long walks or do a lot of activity in a day, it'll get sore in the morning, and so that was definitely a lot of activity, probably the most activity I'd done on my leg up to that point since the injury. That was really it. I'm just really proud of myself for being able to like reach the milestones that I was, you know, planning 5 months out basically from when the injury happened, or from when the surgery happened rather. And I just am so happy, so happy. Yeah, things are so great. Right after we got married, we also went right into our honeymoon. And Mike and I decided to go to Costa Rica, which was an absolutely incredible, amazing experience. I actually also have a travel blog. So if you're going to Costa Rica soon or interested in checking out my recommendations for what to do and where to go, granted it's a huge country, so it depends what your trip is gonna be like, which I kind of mentioned in the blog post anyway, but I will link my blog post down below. The one thing I wanted to call out, because again, for the most part, like we had no issues doing the things we wanted to do while we were in Costa Rica. Of course, I wasn't doing any sort of like high intensity activity like surfing. I was still able to go for long walks, walk on the beach, you know, swim. We ended up going on a hike, and so that's actually the main thing I wanted to bring up right now, because it's kind of, there's kind of a story to it, but like generally speaking, I was able to do what I wanted to do, and that was the plan all along. The hike. I want to talk about this because Mike and I both like hiking. We hadn't done really any hiking around here before we went, although I was cleared to do hiking a while back for my PT, and I've been going on long walks like I'd mentioned. So we were ready to go into Costa Rica and do a hike. I brought my hiking shoes, which I'll see if I can get a photo of them as well. And they have like tall backs, so it's really supportive from an ankle perspective, right? And on the website that we booked the hike, it said it was more of an intermediate hike, which yeah, Mike and I like have done a lot of hiking, and we felt like based off of the description, it was totally gonna, you know, it was totally a hike that we could do, no problem. And yeah, I mean, basically it was an absolutely amazing hike. It was one of the most adventurous hikes that I've ever been on. On the website, this is what's funny, on the website it says, make sure to wear shoes that you're okay with getting wet, or like something like that. And I'm fine with getting my hiking shoes wet, like whatever. You know, they are meant to get dirty after all. So really, really early on into the hike, we pretty much walked through water. Like the water was all the way up just below our knees. So at that point I'm wearing like wool socks, hiking shoes. Like they're not waterproof, but you know, they're shoes. And so we're like walking through the river. There's like a string that I'm holding on to get through. It was just kind of funny. Like, all right, like I wasn't expecting to like walk through water, but like whatever, hopefully my shoes dry like as we go along the hike. And then, you know, pretty soon after, essentially, we realized like this hike involves walking through water, and actually it involves swimming. Like at certain parts during the hike, we were actually like legitimately like swimming, and I was like swimming with my shoes on. It was like really hilarious. So it wasn't, yeah, so like anyway, if you do this hike, it was absolutely beautiful. It was such an adventure. It was so much fun. It's on the north part of the country in Costa Rica. It's the La Leona waterfall hike, and I'll link like how to sign up if you're in the area and you want to do it for yourself. It was so much fun. It was just hilarious because like they said on the website, yeah, your shoes might get wet, or wear shoes you're okay with getting wet, and it's like, oh no, you're like actually going to be swimming. So make sure you wear shoes you're okay with like fully submerging in water and like being wet for like 3 hours basically. So anyway, I bring this up because of course my Achilles tore and I had surgery on it 5 months ago. And so I felt very comfortable and safe in the situation throughout the whole hike because I just know my body, like I know my limits, and my Achilles has gotten very strong, especially over the last month. So I was really being careful. Most important, like I can walk around and I can handle a hike, and I could even handle like walking through water and like on top of rocks and stuff. The main thing that I needed to be really careful of was slipping and falling. And so I don't like necessarily recommend doing something like this. Didn't mean to, like it kind of just ended up happening this way. And I was very, very careful. And Mike was also obviously like very aware as well. So he was helping me throughout some of the tougher parts. But the main thing you want to be careful for is not slipping and having any sort of major accident, falling from really high up, landing on your foot, right? Like those sorts of things that could cause a re-rupture. So yeah, it totally worked out. I'm so glad I have this experience. I think that's gonna wrap up the video for today. I just wanted to do a quick video to kind of recap how I'm doing now, since it's been about 5.5 months post-op now. And since I had the wedding and had our honeymoon. So all is well. That's the summary. All is well. I guess just like as far as like what are next steps right now, I believe I'm really close to being able to run again, which I'm honestly like I'm so excited for. I miss it. Like I miss playing basketball, truly. Like I like being active, but because of COVID, I wasn't able to play basketball that whole year, and then I got into running because I wanted to stay active. So I just enjoy like that sort of exercise, and so not being able to do it to any capacity over the last 5.5 months has been hard. And so I'm at a point where I know I'm getting really close. So my PT said, I think the next step is that she's going to put me on some sort of walk jog program. Yeah, I think that's kind of like speaks for itself. So you'll probably walk for a certain amount of time, jog a little bit, walk, jog, and then eventually you'll be able to run. And then the last thing I'll say in this video is that I've also signed up for a new Pilates studio, which I'm really excited about. Also, I talked about this with my PT to see what she thought, if I'd be able to do it. And again, I know my limits really well, and Pilates is a lot of like core strengthening. I went there this morning actually just to test it out, and I was like, yes, this is great. It's gonna be a really good exercise to help strengthen core, and there's just like a full body exercise that I think will be really helpful for me, generally speaking, with my strength, but also it'll just enable me to stay active again, which is what I'm looking for. So over the next few weeks, I'm gonna be doing Pilates. I'll be biking like I have been, and I'll be going to see my PT. And I'm hoping soon I will be able to do that walk, jog program. And once I do, I will definitely make another video about it to share my experience and how it all works. That is going to wrap up the video for today. So if you made it this far, don't forget to give it a like. Hopefully this was helpful for you. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Of course, if you're going through your own, recovery journey with your Achilles, I'm sending good vibes your way. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. I make videos here regularly and I'd love for you to also be a subscriber. That's gonna be it. Hope to see you in the next video. Bye.